Hi everyone, this is Joy. Welcome back for another Lawn Fawn video. Today I've made an interactive slimline card using products from the Valentine 2021 release. Now I've started by stamping my images onto white cardstock using jet black ink. It is Copic friendly. The images that I'm coloring now are from the special delivery stamp set. I'm coloring this cute little bird with YR000, 01, 02, and 04. I just thought this peachy orange makes for a darling bird. I'm starting by laying down my lightest color, coming in with my darkest, adding a shadow, then blending out with the medium, and then finally coming back over with the lightest and blending softly. For the beak and the feet, I am using the YR04. For this owl, I am using E31, 30, 55, 57, and 59, coloring him the same exact way, starting with my lightest color, coming in with my dark for shadows, blending out with my medium and my lightest color again. Now you can see that I have two sets of wings stamped here. Well, we are making an interactive card using the waving pull tab starter set. So I need to be able to die cut these wings. So I'm going to color a right wing from one set and a left wing from the other, and you'll see when we die cut why. I'm coming in and coloring the hat and the satchel for the owl to wear, and I am using BG 10, 11, 13, and 18. I liked this aqua teal color. I think it goes perfect with the colors that we will be using for this card. Again, laying down my lightest color and coming in with my dark and blending out with my medium. I am using T1 for the white paper and the white envelope, and then slightly blending it with the blender pen. Now the hearts, the boxes, and what looks like string hanging down is from the special delivery box add-on. I'm coloring the hearts with the R20, 22, and 32. And the boxes, I'm going to be coloring in E55, 57, and 59, which are some of the darker browns that I used on the owl. Once I'm done with that, then I'm going to use the coordinating dies to die cut these out. And these are the dies again from the special delivery stamp and the special delivery box add-on. And I'm going to adhere those down, and I'm going to show you how to use the wing dies, because remember we stamped two of those to cut out each side of the wing. So now I'm going to place these dies on each coordinating stamped wing, and I'm going to tape those down and again just run that through my die cut machine. I'm also going to finish die cutting the rest of my images, and then we can start die cutting for the pull tab of the waving pull tab starter set. Now I have die cut this from the scalloped slimline with hearts die set, and I've used the sage leaf cardstock. And I'm taking from the waving pull tab starter set, I am taking the piece that lines up at the top, I'm lining that up to my scallops, and this is what's going to cut out the little groove so we can have access to the pull tab. So I'm centering that in my piece of cardstock, which I've already die cut, and I'm going to tape this down, and then I'm going to come in with the little, it looks like a little stencil, but it's the guide. So we know where to add the little die cut, so we have the pieces for the wings to go through. So here is the little guide. I'm just going to line that up. I'm just going to bring this little piece in, and this is from the special delivery stamp set. It has two little slits in it, and I'm just going to tape that down. Then I will remove the guide and run this through the die cut machine. So then we will die cut two slits and the little notch out of the top of this card panel. So there are the two slits. That's where the wings are going to come through. And then there's the little notch, so we have access to the pull tab. Now here is the pull tab piece, and it has a little circle. I've die cut that out of the same sage leaf cardstock, and I have a little brad that I stick through the back, and I'm going to attach each one of the wings. This is where the X on the top of the wings comes in to guide you so you know exactly the position of your wings. So now that that's attached, I'm going to go from the back of the cardstock and stick the wings through those little slits, and now we've got the little wings in the front. Now here is this guide piece, and there's a couple of spots to score it on. I'm going to add adhesive to the center piece, slide that behind, and you can see those little tabs on the pull piece. I'm going to line that right up to that and adhere it down. Then I'm going to add some more adhesive to the inside of that smaller tab and adhere this down. This is just the guide piece, so your pull tab doesn't go all wonky and all over the place. I did need to close it a little bit tighter because it still had a little too much wiggle room, so I'm just lining that up again and making it just a tad bit tighter, and now it slides much better and those little wings just fly like crazy. Now here is part of the pull tab. This has the little arrow. I opted to do it in the same sage leaf color. I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid glue and adhere that to the top. Because it has that arrow cut out, I feel like my recipient will absolutely know what to do with this card when they see it. So I'm just going to let that dry, and now we've got this great little pull tab and the wings are just flapping away. So cute. So now let's glue our little pieces onto our owl. So I'm going to glue on the satchel with some liquid glue along with the hat, and I've decided to have the hat be on a little bit of a tilt just to kind of give that owl a little bit of a attitude. I'm going to add some foam tape to the center of the wings on the card panel, then some foam tape at the top and the bottom of the owl. I don't want anything in the way of the wings, but we need him to pop up, and I love things with dimension, so this worked out just great. So I'm going to adhere him down, and look at his little wings go. I just think it's so darling. Now let's glue the string or the rope to this package, and I'm just going to adhere that down with a little bit of liquid glue. I actually end up trimming off the top part of that because he's going to be tucked under the owl. I needed a little bit more room for the bottom of the card. Now this little die tucks right underneath the beak of the bird, and die cuts a little slit so your cute birds can hold a letter or whatever it is that you want to tuck in there. So just like that, you slide that little letter under there, and he's so super cute. Now I'm going to stamp some sentiments onto the box and to two of these letters. The box is going to say "For You," and that comes in the special delivery box add-on. And then to the two letters, I'm going to stamp "Love You" and "XOXO" twice, and that is from the special delivery stamp. So I'm just using an acrylic block with the jet black ink and just stamping those cute little sentiments. Any colored ink would be great too, but I opted to go with the black. So I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue behind that letter and tuck it underneath the beak of the bird, and he is just going to be looking like he is holding his letter. Now here is the centerpiece from the Magic Iris Birdhouse add-on die. It cuts out the circle, and which you'll see in just a little bit, the cute little birdhouse die, but this is the circle, and I've just added my bird to the inside, and I am just gluing all of these letters all around him because I want it to look like his little birdhouse is full of letters. I stamped the images onto the sage leaf and guava cardstocks along with white, and so that's why he has all these cute little colors of letters, and I'm just making it look like he is so full. So there's the birdhouse. I die cut that from the woodgrain white cardstock, and it is so darling. I am going to glue some letters to the front of the inside of the birdhouse. This will be popped up on foam tape, so it will also give it a little bit more of some dimension to really look like his little birdhouse is just overflowing with letters. So I'm just lining it up and making sure it does not cover up the "Love You" letter because I feel like that is part of the sentiment on this card. So I'm going to finish adhering those down and gluing those together, and we've got this cute little birdhouse. Now I'm going to finish off the birdhouse with the trim pieces cut from sage leaf and guava cardstock. I'm just adding the guava on top of the sage leaf. I wanted two colors. I just felt like it brought this little birdhouse to life. And then I'm going to adhere that to the birdhouse itself with a little bit of liquid glue, centering that at the bottom, and then doing the same thing for the trim at the top, adding just a little bit of liquid glue and adhering that down. And I'm just going to hold it with my tweezers until it dries, and it'll dry pretty quickly. So now I'm going to add some foam tape behind that piece that has the interactive part because we do need this popped up, otherwise the pull tab will not pull correctly. And I'm going to adhere that down to a piece of pink striped paper from the Let It Shine 12 by 12 paper pack. And I die cut that back piece from the large slimline with sliders die set. So I'm going to add a little pull of that same wood grain white cardstock to the bottom of my card. And then I'm going to line up my birdhouse. I'm going to trace just the top part of the circle so I know exactly where to adhere my bird on the inside. I'm making sure my package that the owl is carrying is not going to be covered up completely, so I'm just getting everything lined up. Once that's done, I'm just going to come in with a pencil, and you don't even have to erase this because it's going to be completely covered. So I'll just add a little bit of adhesive to the back of that, adhere that down, and then I'm going to add some foam adhesive behind the birdhouse because, again, I want this to have dimension and it to look like he is stuck deep in his birdhouse with all of these sweet little letters from a loved one. So I'm going to peel back the release paper and just adhere that down, centering it over that bird with all of the letters. And look at how cute that is already. Oh, it's so darling. Now I'm going to glue this package underneath the owl. And like I said, I trimmed off the top piece because it was just a little bit too long. And his little wings go, and it just turned out so cute. Now to this box, I am taking my little X-Acto knife and cutting a small slit because I want to stick some more envelopes in this because, again, I just want it to feel like he is just being overrun by all of these letters. So I'm going to adhere those in, stick those in, add a little bit of glue. I've got that cute heart that we colored and die cut, and I added that into the front of the box as well. And I'm just going to trim off a little bit of the edge of the box so it can tuck down in that bottom trim of the birdhouse. And then it just looks like he's got all these boxes outside of his door with all of these letters, and another box is being delivered. So super cute. Now I'm going to come in and add these hearts and adhere those down. I'm going to add a couple above the box and then some by the owl using a little bit of liquid glue. And just adhering those down. And then I'm going to stamp the sentiment. It says lots of love, and I'm stamping that with jet black ink onto white cardstock, and I'm just going to trim that out, add a little bit of foam tape behind it, and then I'm going to adhere that at the top of the card, just slightly overlapping those hearts. But again, that has foam tape, gives it more dimension. I love all of the dimension on this card. I think it adds to the interest of it. So I'm just going to center that at the top and adhere that down. I'm going to come in with Lawn Fawn's glitter pen and add glitter to the hearts because you just always need a little bit of glitter. And once that's done, I'm going to come in with a white gel pen and just add some highlights, some little dots to the cheek, some highlights to the hat, to the owl, to the boxes. I'm going to add a little bit of highlights to each one of the hearts. And that highlight detail just finishes off this card so perfectly. And look at this great little Valentine card with all of that little wing action going on and the cute little bird buried. It is just such a sweet card that anybody would love to get. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching, and I'll see you soon.